Hi there. Welcome back to Popeye in Deep Sea Danger. Today we're reading Chapter 6. Dinosaur Bones. All right. It must be huge inside, Wimpy guessed as Popeye steered the ship toward the cavern's shadowy opening. Yes, agreed Find'em. If what we followed into this bay is the sea monster, that cavern is large enough to be its lair. Drop anchor, commanded Popeye. We'll find out if it is. Sweet Pea crawled forward and released the mooring chains, and the anchor splashed into the sea. Now, said Popeye, moving to the schooner's lifeboat, we'll shove off and check that cavern. I'm going too, Sweet Pea stated. Into the monster's lair? Exclaimed Olive. Never! I won't permit. But Popeye will protect me. Sweet Pea pleaded, his arms circling Popeye's right leg. He might even need protection in there, Olive retorted. Belay that gibberish, Popeye cut in. No sea critter frightens me. I wouldn't let it harm a single hair on Sweet Pea's head. With a laugh, Popeye pulled off Sweet Pea's blue sailor hat, revealing his cute bald head.
Donning a bright orange life preserver that almost hid him, Sweet Pea climbed into the lifeboat.
Then, Popeye dipped the oars into the water, and the small boat skimmed across the bay toward the cavern entrance. As Popeye slowly rowed into the dark grotto, Professor Find'em turned on a bright flashlight. Its beam bounced off the cavern roof, some 5 feet above their heads. Then the beam swept around the deep, silent cave. Find'em focused the light to one side, where a rock ledge rose above the water and extended back some 30 feet. At last, touching the curve of the cavern's wall, something white on the ledge caught his eye. He asked Popeye to row over to it. Bones! Cried Sweet Pea, gazing at the white objects that were embedded in the ledge. Shiver me timbers! Exclaimed Popeye. They look like skeletons. What kind are they? Find'em jumped from the boat onto the ledge, carrying the light. Excitedly, he examined the bones that were partially embedded in the cave's ledge, hard surface. His expression became more excited as he studied the discovery. Dinosaur, he said finally. There can be no question about it. These bones are part of a dinosaur skeleton. You mean, asked Sweet Pea, like the skeletons at the museum the teacher took us to see? They were over 60 million years old. But this isn't, replied Find'em. He was now on his knees, gazing at the embedded bones. Through a large magnifying glass. It's my guess that these bones are only a few hundred years old. Why, if I'm right, then this specimen is a link to the dinosaurs we thought had become extinct millions of years ago. The sea monster could be a continuation of their line. Suddenly, Popeye interrupted, pointing toward the place where the cavern opening had been. High tide! Popeye, the water's rising! They all looked over toward the entrance. Where there had been daylight before, there was now only darkness. The rising tide had covered the entrance. They were trapped inside. Quickly, Popeye pushed them into the lifeboat and rowed to the water block entrance. The cave roof is moving down toward us, cried Sweet Pea. No, explained Find'em. The rising tide is pushing us up toward it. At high tide, if the water reaches the cave ceiling, we'll be underwater and we'll drown. Already, Popeye and Find'em were forced to bend forward so their heads would not be pressed against the cavern ceiling. Popeye studied the situation for a moment and saw one slim chance of escape. Tearing off the top of a spinach can from the boat's emergency rations, Popeye gobbled down its green, strengthening contents. He flexed his arms and his big muscles bulged. By now, he and the other two were all lying flat. As the boat itself had started to press against the cavern roof. Oh no.
Button down your hatches, your mouths,
Popeye ordered. Before Find'em or Sweet Pea could ask why they had to hold their breath, Popeye pressed his palms to the rough cavern roof. He looked back, estimating where the cavern opening, now hidden underwater, was located. Then he pushed with all his might. The lifeboat plunged underwater. As the surprised Find'em and Sweet Pea held their breath, the boat shot forward. Then it popped to the surface. They were in clear daylight in the bay, beyond the water-covered cavern entrance. Listen, mateys, don't tell Olive about this. Popeye winked at Sweet Pea. She might climb the mizzen mast with worry. Once back on the Discoverer, Professor Find'em made a sweep with the sonar. It gave no sign of the sea monster in the bay near them. But if that cavern was the sea monster's lair, the creature should be somewhere in the bay. Professor Find'em asked Popeye to take a look underwater. While Popeye was donning his scuba gear, the hastily repaired submarine nosed into the bay. Through the battered periscope, Stare saw Popeye dive. Ready the torpedo tube, Stare ordered. We're capturing Popeye. Ooh, that's the end of chapter 6. I hope you'll join me next time as we read chapter 7, In a Trance. Ooh, that's going to be good, exciting. You might as well go ahead and hit that bell so you can get notifications of these chapters. Because I've got many big little books to read. And I hope you'll enjoy and come back for more. Thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time.